need to wake up at the same time every single day. And at first this might seem crazy. At first you might be like, oh, what about the weekends? Or what if I go to bed late? Do I still wake up at the same time? Is that worth it? Or is more sleep worth it? Because Andrew Huberman said this about sleep and this person said this about sleep. So I want to get my sleep on point. It's a very common thing people think about. And honestly, I've been that person who's always all about sleep and I'd rather sleep more, so like fuck it. It's not true though. It's really not. Because I've tried to have this routine where I could dabble with my wake up time and make it later if I slept later, or just change it up when I wanted to, when I felt like it. And that's the problem. The problem is you're willing to compromise your character because you feel like it. That's not good. And sure, sleep is good for you. It's got good, healthy benefits, obviously. It's probably one of the biggest things you can do for your health. But you know what isn't talked about? Being in alignment with your consciousness and being in alignment with what you want to do in life. I think that's amazing for your health. And what you'll notice is people who are like this, they're just naturally more energetic. They're naturally in better shape. They naturally just have so much more healthy signs to them, regardless of the sleep they get. So really, it's one big fact that people don't talk about. This idea of being in alignment with your purpose. Well, people talk about this, but they don't talk about it from a health perspective. I genuinely think when you are in alignment with what you want to do deep down, you are way less in stress. Like, my life is hectic. A lot of stuff happens in my life. But that doesn't mean I'm in stress necessarily. Honestly, like, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I feel in alignment with my consciousness. And as a result, I can take this toll of work that I do every single day. So the thing about the wake up time is if you keep altering it based on how you feel, then you treat your whole life like this. Because it's the first decision of the day. It's actually the most important when you think about it. You're essentially in that moment deciding to wake up and be grateful for your life. In that very moment, you are essentially saying, am I grateful for life? Do I want to be alive? Do I want this day to start? Regardless of how I feel. And when you say yes, then that character bleeds into the rest of your day. Now, does this mean if you have a wake-up time, your whole day is fixed? No, I don't think so. But I do think it's step one. And I've tried to be the guy who doesn't do this. I've tried to be the man that changes this and thinks I can get away with this one part. So my advice is to keep a wake-up time every single day, regardless of what time you go to bed. And if this means some days you have to take a nap because you're so fucking tired, or you drink extra coffee, then that's fine, so be it. But no matter what, you have to be up at a certain time doing the most important things of your day. If you were to just push this shit back again and again, then a lot of days you're not gonna do those important things. And this brings me into the idea that once you wake up, you need to have a routine. You need to have something to fall onto. If you just let your mind wander and you just do what you feel like you're supposed to do, that's not always gonna lead to the right things. Honestly, it's probably most of the time it won't. Because of all the distractions that society has placed on us. And I'm not playing the victim card. It's just a reality though. This phone, for example, it could be a massive tool of distraction. You could also use it the way I'm using it. I'm out here just putting out free value into the world. Putting out free value, working on my communication, working on my ability to storytell and lecture, basically. So anyways, there's so many distractions that might come up to you in the morning. The biggest one is your phone. That is the number one. If somehow you just didn't have a phone, I think so many things get solved. Honestly. And the way you counteract distraction, the way you counteract temptation, is you need to have a set plan as to what will happen. And you need to auto focus onto that plan whenever you're wandering off into space. So basically what that means is you not only have a wake up time, but you have a routine that you will do the moment you wake up. Your routine can vary. Just like your wake up time, you don't have to have the same one I do. However, I do think there are crucial elements that should be in your routine. And I can go deeper on this in other videos, but this is really what it is. It is reflection and reading, working out. It's funny, honestly, those are the main two. Like, you need to reflect on the day prior. You need to. This is very important. And you need to do some sort of reading, some sort of learning, something, dude. It could just be one quote or one page of a book. But I genuinely believe this is very, very important. Very important. And after all that, you need to work out. You need to. So basically, you work out your physical and you work out your mental. That's kind of the way to think about it, right? And here's the other part of the morning routine that people don't talk about, at least what I've noticed. Ideally, you have something where you are interacting with people in some way, or you are practicing your social skills or your communication in some way. So for example, I go on walks and I make it a habit to say good morning to people who are walking by me. Maybe not every single person, but then again, this isn't an area of my life I struggle with, not anymore. But if it was, every single morning I'd have this in my things I have to do, which is to go on a walk and say hi to people. On top of that, I make these videos. And you don't have to be a YouTuber to want to make videos like this. You have to understand, just talking is very good for you. Very good for your communication and your social skills. It's a lost art. Some people have it, obviously, but it's really difficult to find someone really good at it, honestly. So anyways, ideally you have something in your morning routine that's helping you become more social and more confident and better at communicating. And then after all that, a nice cold shower that leads into work. At this point, you can eat your breakfast and then you can work, or you can work and then eat your breakfast. That's up to you. But no matter what, you have to get to work. Very important. And that's the morning routine. But more importantly, that is the concept of a wake-up time and why it's so important. Because if you miss the wake-up time, then you might not get to do the morning routine. You might just go straight into working for some company or working for some job or doing some other task that the world is essentially forcing you to do in that moment. But you need to wake up on time for yourself. Because if you can't respect yourself enough, if you can't wake up on time for yourself, why do you expect anybody to respect you? Honestly. So that's the message of the day. Have a wake-up time. It creates character. It allows you to work on yourself in the morning, which is the time you should be working on yourself. And you just feel proud about it. Trust me, you feel on point. Nothing feels worse than waking up late and rushing out the house to go do that thing you don't want to do. Nothing feels worse. And dude, I feel so at peace when I wake up on time and I'm on point and I'm doing the routine and I'm doing everything I have to do. Some days I'm more into it, some days I'm not as into it, but every day I'm into it. Every day I'm doing it. And I'm embracing it for what it is. So wake up and choose gratitude. That's it. Peace out.